Hello, hello, hello. This is Quay Renee, and welcome to my second show, or take on this podcast thing. I believe I said the next subject that I was going to discuss from the last show was going to be college and how I made it through. Now, I'm only going to be able to speak from my perspective, but I think it will be helpful if you're going back to school, if you have student loans, or if you know someone coming into the, I know they usually start like January semester or the next summer or fall semesters. Um, I started at Newman College in January of 2006. Yes, I started in January because in the fall, in September, I really didn't know what I was going to do. I had just graduated. Um, I think I had just broke up with my boyfriend, and it was everybody was going to school. Like everybody I knew, they had gotten in, did all they had to do. They were going into school, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I thought I could work. Um, my parent wasn't really pushing me to choose the school thing. And I honestly did not know. I know I said that like 1,000 times, but I didn't. I mean, 18, 2005, you just graduated, what, June 9th? I think I still remember the date. And now you had all summer and it's September and all your friends are leaving. And at that time, I was working part time at um, a mental health facility, and I was working back in medical records. My mom's friend is the director. Shout out Auntie T. And she actually hired me on, and I was able to work there. Now working part time, I believe my shift was something like 5 to 9. It was like 5 to 9, Monday through Thursday. I was off Friday, but then I had to go in Saturday from 8 to 5, and then I was off Sunday. So yes, like the worst possible schedule ever. I did not have like 2 weekend days off back to back. So I was already prone to like working weekends. And at that time, I only had, I think I took over like my AT&T bill. Like I was so proud that I started working, that I did that. But after, I'd say by like November, so I already felt like, yeah, this wasn't something that I could do for the rest of my life. So, um, yeah, I thought about school and what I was going to do, and I did take the SATs. I didn't score as high as people probably believe I scored. I'm not going to say it, but it was under 1,000. And I know most people are going to be shocked by that, but because some people think that I have an intellectual ability, a high one. I mean, I myself know, like, I'm what you would call smart, I guess. But it's like that standardized test, it just wasn't for me. I took it once. I wasn't focused. I wasn't too determined. I did take pre SAT classes, but it just wasn't it just wasn't something that I was excited to do. I mean, it's the standardized test of all things. And that's why I said in my first show, like, yeah, I wasn't, when I finished college, like, I was not happy to learn that I would have to take another standardized test to then get into graduate school. I thought that was like bullcrap. So, long story short, I realized that that job wasn't something I wanted to do every day, but it was something that would allot me the ability to get through school because I was part time, like 32 hours or whatever. So I applied to school. I get into Newman. I'm so excited. It's small. But then I find out, me, of all people, cheerleader for all these years, that school did not have a football team. And that was the craziest thing that I found out about the school. I love the colors and everything. It was like gold, yellow, and blue. I love that. But no football team was like killer. And I'm sorry if you hear that background and you live in Delco, you know what it is. There's a fire somewhere. It'll go off in a bit. But and Delco is Delaware County for those people who don't know. Delaware County, Pennsylvania. And that's how we know it's a fire. And so back to college. I get there, there's no football team. I'm like, good. Then I won't have any male distraction because those are the types that I tend to be attracted to. So I can just go focus on my work. So freshman year, I get in there, do my thing. I did fill out the FAFSA form. PA was awesome with that. I got a Pell Grant, all these other grants. Signed up for a few student loans, and we will go back to my student loans then. And I was able to start. Now, with the student loans, I will continue, and I hope she's still there, and I hope someone that hears this lets her know. At Newman College, now University, the lead financial aid person then was Sue Hauer, I believe. Hauer, something like that. Sue Hauer, or Hauer. And she was just so good to me and my aunt who took me to the orientation. Oh, she was so nice. And I did not open any personal loans. I think I did one semester, but it was like $500, and I paid that just as soon as I had the money. But I think it was through Beneficial Bank or something like that. So, but I paid that one off immediately because I knew after college, like, I did not want to have that stigma on me of constantly paying student loans. So, I paid off that personal one, but all my loans that I signed up for, were Staffordized. And that means that I signed up for them at a fixed rate, and even during school and after school, they cannot be changed. Now, later on, because when you're in college, one thing they don't let you know is that tuition goes up every year. And yes, you will get more money access every year with filling out the FAFSA form, FAFSA. I'm sorry, I really don't know what it stands for. But filling that out, you will get more money, but it's still not going to be enough. And then there's books. And that, I believe, is the biggest scam of higher learning in itself. The fact that we have to buy these books at regular price when the next semester or even the next year, they're going to go into the next edition. And then a lot of schools offer that sellback time. Yeah, except for you only get a fraction of what you paid. But by this time, you're so run down and so tired and over it. You're just like, F it. I'm gonna take this $25, even though clearly I paid $55 or $65 for this book. And it's kind of a hassle, but I mean, you're young and dumb and you're just trying to get something for the money that you put out. So that tends to happen. So yeah, and then there's books. So then I was able to, so we have the student loans. Some money's paid through my financial assistance. And then there's always a balance. And the most important tip why I praise that woman so much is that she is the person who informed me that you can pay on the interest of your loans while you're still in school. So let me repeat that. On each loan that I opened each semester, I was paying on the interest of that loan while I was in school. So when I graduated with all principal balances. And that is the amazing factoid that financial aid offices across the country will tend to leave out. And it was amazing. So the first half of my loans, I believe, was under AES, aessuccess.org. Everybody knows that. Um, and the second one was under something else, but that fall of 2008, there was something happened and they like closed. So we had to choose. So I had a list of, I guess, bank owners or government agencies that I could choose from. So I saw FedLoan, and I'm like, federal government, like, I think this will at least, this one will stay in business. So I'll choose this one to stay with. So then I have FedLoan. So now I have about 4 or 5 loans, but then split between both companies by the time I graduated. And another important thing, because I worked part time and had to be at work, even though my social life suffered and I really did want to join the softball team or at least try out, and for volleyball, I couldn't. I just did not have the time after classes to get that all in and then have time to work. I had to work. I had to pay for these books. I had to pay my cell phone bill. I had to pay my tuition balance because you get that each semester. And yeah, so I worked. And I pride myself on the fact that I did everything myself. My aunt signed a promissory note for me, but all my loans, all of my secured debt was in my name. And I have to be actually proud of that because I was jealous of people who parents paid for them, just to be there, or who signed themselves up to take that all on. I did not have that option. I no longer fault my mother for that. She made the decision that she had to make. And this was the best thing for me to learn early on how to handle and manage my finances, which got me to the somewhat financial literate person that I am today. So thank you, mother. Thank you for that lesson. I truly do. And I'll get over it one day. No, I'm over it and I'm so thankful. But so that was what I had to do. So I had no time. So I was a commuter. I did not stay on campus because my anxiety would not allow me the fact to live in those rooms with 2 other individuals and have to go to class and not think like they're in my stuff, they're touching my stuff, they're near my stuff. It's not a coveted thing. It's just like the fact that it's my stuff and I like things a certain way. And also the size of those so-called suites were ridiculous and I just unclean to me. So it was something that I just could not do. It was something that I was not, something that I was not willing to do, was to stay in those dorms. So commuter, then I was encouraged. So freshman, sophomore, junior, I would say end of sophomore, I had realized like I had taken so many ethics classes or so many philosophy courses that my then advisor encouraged me to just take more. I only needed about 18 more credits before, and I could have that philosophy as my minor. And the major that I applied for ended up being psychology because before I even started, I thought I was going for nursing. Let's start there. And that just didn't happen because I couldn't see myself giving needles. And Newman's nursing program is so competitive that there was 80 slots then, and about 200 people applied for those 80 slots like each year. It was just really high pressure because that's what it started as, like Our Lady of Angels nursing school, but it turned into what it turned into. So, so major psychology, minor philosophy. I started in 06. I was taking 21 credits a semester. Let me say that again. 21 credits a semester. As long as I maintained a 3.0. GPA. I think it was actually 2.7 to 3.0 I had to maintain. My advisor, he believed I was taking on too much for myself, but in my mind, I was just trying to get it done at a time I could get it done by. So that enabled me to start in January of 2006 and to finish in December of 2009. And I was so proud of myself. I got all my stuff in, finished all 30-page paper presentation, all of that. Got it done. My last semester was literally 3 classes I had to take and 2 courses that they made besides psychology and movies. That was awesome. And another course they made for people in my major for us to attend. They actually made the class and we still got 4 credits for it. It was awesome. And so it was still college in. Well, it had just became university, but we still only had the 1 graduation. So I was okay with the fact that I was graduating in 2010. That got me to let my mom know, because of course she was going to get a party together, and all my family know that I'd be graduating May of 2010. And I believe that date was May 15th, 2010. And that was one of the best days of my life. And that was also one of the best years in my life. I took my first international trip that year to Dominican Republic after I procured my, what's the travel thing called? Where you get the stamps. My passport. Yes, sometimes I lose words. I don't know. I say that I'm suffering from slight aphasia, but I'm not, because I can always describe the word aphasia. APHASIA, I believe. So everyone has Google. So yeah, sometimes I tend to forget words. But my passport, and it was just awesome. And once I finished in December, I was filling out they had a workshop where you created your resume, and I was filling out job applications 10 at a time per week. I was working out 3 to 6 days a week. I mean, it was awesome. And then January of 2010, my good friend Ashley asked me, she was like, "Oh, you have a resume? I started somewhere. Just send me over a copy. I'll go over it and I'll make sure that it's seen for you. I can't necessarily get the job, but I can make sure it's seen." And I still thank her to this day. And that was how I got hired the first year into that corporate place that I nearly parted from in last year, in 2017. I was there for 7 years. At 5 years, got a very printed out generic letter and $100 Visa check card. Thanks for that. And then I learned at 10 years, they don't even give you 200. They only give you 150. And I just thought that was ridiculous. But anyway, I hope what I spoke about today helps you to understand that even though you go through these things and I still can't figure out how I got through it, that you do come out better. You do come out more knowledgeable. You do come out more appreciative and knowing in yourself what you are made of because you got it done. And that's the biggest thing I can be thankful for my college experience. And no, I'm not using my degree, and I will probably start with that the next show or have a second part to this, because that's a whole nother topic for, I believe, people in my 30 to 35 age bracket, because of how we were marketed to the time around 04, early 2000s, 04, 05, as to what we should do to secure our future. So I would say, please pay on your student loans, even if you feel like you can't. Communication is the key. I literally called them on days that I felt like I was even just going to be a couple days late. Then I found out they actually have a grace period. And I just call and communicate with them anything. I think if you pay 72 or 70 payments in a row, never late, then you go down 2% with AES. And there's different things. There's, of course, tax write offs and everything that goes along with it. You just have to communicate with the company. Not paying and not saying anything is only detrimental to you. That is not going to make the debt disappear. And that's one thing I really want to reiterate, because someone close to me did not pay on his stuff for a full year instead of just deferment. There is deferment options. There is like freezing options. You can inform them of what you get paid and they will work with you with the payment. And I just want all of us out here to win and be financial literate and have controls of our situation. I don't want you to feel like it's some student debt loan situation that is out of control and that makes things out of your reach to get to the car, the business, the house, the next thing in your life. I just want us all to do great so I could share with you the information that I had when I was in school 7 years ago now. And today, today is the 12th, I believe, but as of January 4th, 2017, I, Jaquia Booker, have paid in full all of my loans to one company of AES. And that is the most freeing experience I've ever had in my life. No, I am not debt free, but I am on my way to, and I am managing the debt that I have from me. And that is one of the best feelings in the world. So on that note, I hope for each of you that you got something from this and to go forward knowing that whatever you are going through will create a better you. So, peace, love, and light, peeps. And I'm out.